This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me on this Tuesday morning here in the UK. It's very much appreciated. Right, we're going to try and get back on the Stallion in Focus trail this week. I think we've got a lot to get through. Didn't realise there were so many. This is just in 1 month, the last 4 or 5. We've still got another one to do from this month. The month I'm looking at, which I think is August 2019. All these horses were identified. Quick premise of what I'm trying to do. Basically, there's a lot of good horses on that site. Reprieve Media, CIC Racing, 2020.great/site.net. Obviously, they're all retired now, some of them. The good ones on the flat will have retired. But what they're trying to do now is produce great horses of their own. The mares, in particular, have had 2 or 3 this year that have come through off the site and produced good winners on the flat. Horses like Jovial, who was the dam of that horse that blew out of Stouts. It's called Jonquil, something like that. We had Obligate as well from Juddmonte again. That's a bred one. That's quite good. Can't remember what it's called now. So many horses about. Might be Lead Artist. Is that out of Obligate? I'm sure you could go and check. But yeah, so obviously the Stallions are doing the same thing. This is about the 8th or the 9th one that I'm going to take a look at. And yeah, this Stallion was going to polarise opinion, I think. Because it's a bit like the first one in the series we did, Logician. And it's just not a sire of National Hunt horses, in my opinion. But that seems to be what the horse is going to be asked to do. The horse in question is Mogul. My old mate Mogul. Standing for a fee of €3,000 at the Beaches Stud, which is the Coolmore National Hunt Stallion branch of Coolmore. Very interesting horse, Mogul, without any shadow of a doubt. Beautifully bred on the flat. It's one of the reasons why I identified him, because I did enjoy watching a few of his relatives go round. Very good horse he was, Mogul. People take a look at his form. He was fairly solid all through his career, apart from his last year, I think. Group 2 winner at 2. 4th in the rearranged Vertem Futurity that year, of which a Stallion in Focus Kamiko actually won that race. We're just going back 5 years, really, here, because Kamiko is one of the ones in that series as well. So it was job done that year, 1st and 4th at least, and 2 Stallions. 3, he was a bit slow to come to hand, I thought. It was only 6th he was in the Derby, which really, I was hoping for a little bit better on the day. He was 4th in the King Edward II Stakes on what was his first start of the season. That was the year, lockdown year, where they pushed the Derby back a bit and messed about with the calendar. I remember now, because that normally wouldn't happen. Normally, Ascot is after Epsom, but that is what happened that year. Then he won the Group 3 Gordon Stakes. He ran to a mark of 113, and then in September 2020, he really showed me that he was a horse all along, really. A good performance, 2.5 length demolition job, really, of In Swoop to win the Group 1 Grand Prix de Paris of 2020, ridden by the disgraced Pierre-Charles Baudot on the day. He then was ridden by Ryan Moore for another great victory in 2020 when he won the Hong Kong Vase by 3 lengths, defeating Exultant on the day, a very good horse again in Hong Kong. So this horse was decent, I think, on his day. His best career ratings of 122. Might not have been the most consistent horse, though, 113, but on his day, very good. They unlocked him there between them 3 months, didn't they? Just a shame that when he came back in March, the horse tailed off a bit in its last year. Well beaten at Maidan, 7th of 9 behind Mishriff. That was a tough race. Beaten behind Mare Australis in the Gannet, then, yeah, that was a disappointing run, really. And then after that, the horse, Glycon, another one of mine, beat it there. I remember that day. Yeah, then he went back to Hong Kong, finished 6th of 8 in his last run before his retirement. So he had quite an interesting career, I think, it's fair to say, on the track. At the end of the video, we're going to take a look at 3 of his races. We're going to look at him win the Beresford. Not the Beresford, sorry. It was the KPMG Champions Juvenile Stakes. We're going to watch him win that in 2019. Then we're going to watch him win the GP de Paris of 2020. And then we're going to watch him win the Hong Kong Vase of 2020. But before that, let's have a quick look at the pedigree of the horse, I think. Why not? Rude not to. Mogul foaled in 2017, family 11D. From a dam line perspective, is the number that we're interested in. People will see there one winner of 1,589,889 UK pounds. Sired by legendary stallion Galileo. That's another reason why there is a school of thought in Ireland that seems to think that Galileo is not a very good sire of National Hunt stallions. I mean, they would obviously know more than me. Out of a dam called Shaste, who herself was foaled in 2001. The thing about this horse is, if you look at the pedigree, it's quite an old pedigree in the respect that the fifth dam of the horse was foaled nearly 70 years ago. That's quite unusual if people look at a modern day horse. So really, I've only gone back to say the fourth dam was foaled in 1958. So it's quite difficult, really, to make a case for anything beyond the fourth and the fifth dam. I normally would look at the first five dams, wouldn't I? But this one here, because there's a 20-year gap in between the third and the fourth dam's ages. That's Secret and Haglet, you know. So we're going to take a look at some of the relatives now out of Shaste, who herself was foaled 23 years ago. I think she sadly died not so long ago, a couple of years ago or something. I might be wrong. But Japan is the obvious one. Japan was going around quite recently for the same colours. Carbon copy of the horse, really, by Galileo out of Shaste. Japan won 7 of 21 starts. In the first 3 in 12 of 21 starts, winning £2,006,533 UK pounds. Again, solid career, Japan. He did win the Beresford Group 2. I knew one of them did. And he also won the Grand Prix de Paris, the same race as his baby brother won, Mogul. And he also won the International Stakes as well at York. And he also won the King Edward VII Stakes, the race that Mogul could not win. Better than Mogul in the Derby, third compared to sixth. And Mogul, don't think, ran in the Eclipse or the King George. You see, it was a very interesting career both Japan and Mogul had. Japan, of course, is at stud himself now in Germany. Stud fee of €9,500, standing at Gstaad Etzion. I'm sure I've butchered the second part of that. Standing for a fee of €9,500. I don't think there's any on the ground yet, is there? No. Here, the next season will be, they might have 2022. Yeah, 2025. They will be on track. Yearlings and foals this year. And yearlings this year. There might have been some go through the sales, but I think next year they will be hitting the track. So it'll be interesting to see how Japan does as a stallion in Germany. They don't necessarily embrace a 2-year-old pattern out there. It'll be interesting to see how the stallion goes. Secret Gesture, a mare foaled in 2010, another replica really, apart from being a female version of the horse, sired by Galileo out of a dam called Shaste again. Secret Gesture, another good career, 16 starts, 4 wins, 5 places and 3 shows, 12 of 16 starts in the first 3, managing to win £468,411. Again, a good career. Secret Gesture, second in the Oaks and third in the Yorkshire Oaks. This was almost nearly a classic winner as well. Listed winner at 3 of the Oaks Trial, and another listed winner of the Warwickshire Oaks at 4, and then a winner of the Group 2 Middleton Stakes at 5. Also placed in the Group 1 German Oaks as well, the Price de Diana, the Yorkshire Oaks, Middleton before she won it, Group 1 Prix Jean Romanet at 4 as well. She was placed in the Beverley D Stakes in Group 1 at 5 as well. Very good filly. Black type producer. She's produced some decent fillies in her own right, to be fair to her. One of them was tragic this year, Hidden Law, who sadly collapsed after crossing the line, the winner of the Chester Vase this year. So no one sadly knows how good this horse could have been by Dubawi. You'll see there. Hidden Law won the Chester Vase Group 3 of 2024. So this line is still no one. This horse could have been, people could have easily been talking about a classic winning horse this year. You know, look, the Ancient Wisdom didn't really pan out for Godolphin, did it this year? Beaten the other day in Germany, fair and square it looked like, and this one as well. They've had some bad luck as well as bad campaigning. You know, you can't really blame just the campaigning. But this horse won the Chester Vase well, Cheshire, the Chester Vase well this year. Sadly dropped dead meters after crossing the line. Excuse me. Final Gesture, another one, a filly foaled in 2019, another one by Jabawi. Had 11 starts up to this date of the article written. One managed to be in the first 3 in 8 of 11 starts, winning 3, managing to win €110,950 in France and Ireland. This was updated less than a year ago, over a year ago, so it might be out of date now. But she won the listed Vintage Triple Stakes in Ireland of 2023. That's her only pattern race success at the moment, bred by Godolphin, now owned in Ireland. Sir Isaac Newton is another one on this line. Sir Isaac Newton, a gelding, born in 2012. You see a regular theme, Galileo. They've gone to the well a few times with this stallion, haven't they, with this damn line. Sir Isaac Newton, 8 of 20 starts in the first 3, managing to win 3 starts. And the earnings of $554,577 Australian dollars. Another one out of Shaste. So Isaac Newton was 3rd in the JOA Cup Group 3 at 6. But before that, he was a winner at 4 of the Group 3 International Stakes in Ireland at the Coa. And he was another Royal Ascot winner on this line, winner of what was then the listed Wolferton Handicap at Ascot. He went to Australia, sadly died in 2020 after a hurdling fall in Australia. Hardly the National Hunt Stallions pedigree, is it, that you would want to see? Yeah, right. I didn't know, I forgot about that, yeah. Maurus is another one, gelding, foaled in 2011. That ended up out in Australia, sired by Medician, this one, out of Shaste. Foaled in 2011, Maurus ran 43 times, finishing in the first 3 in 23 of 43 starts, winning 6 races and $636,975. Maurus won the listed Ipswich Cup. That's in South Australia, I'm fairly certain of that. In 2016, placed in several pattern races, placed in second in 4 Group 3 races, and 3rd in a Group 2 race, and another 3 Group 3 races. A very solid performer out in Australia. Arguably never got his head in front as often as he deserved. Very good performer. Solid gelding. Shandos is another one. A gelding, born in 2017, sired by Golden Horn. Again, who is now a jump stallion, isn't he? After starting his career as a flat stallion. This one is out of a dam called Shabit. Shaste is the second dam of this horse. It's won 4 of his 9 starts in the first 3 in 7 of 9, winning £103,391. Shandos, listed winner and 3rd in the Group 3 Jeffrey Freer Stakes, age 6, when trained by Roger Varian. So again, you know, another gelding that's done the job sort of to a certain extent. More recently, all related to the first dam of this horse, Mogul. That's the trouble with this pedigree, Mogul. We go to horses far back and they're very closely related to Mogul. Starting to see shades of that already. Shaste, the dam herself, won 2 of 9 starts on the track in the first 3 in 4 of 9, earning only £20,866 on the track. She was sired by another legendary UK and Irish stallion, world stallion really, Dane Hill, out of a dam called Saganika, who was foaled in 1988. Shaste was second in the 2005 Castle Stakes at Pontefract. There he are, sadly died in 2022, shortly after producing a Jabawi colt, which is not this one, is it? No, it's not Mogul, is it? Of course it's not, no. Mogul was actually born a lot of years before that in 2017. So there's still a few more. Hidden Law might have been the one, actually, mightn't it? Hidden Law was born that year. Yeah, sadly. I think he might have been the one, mightn't he? Well, sad. Oh no, 2024, he'd have been 3. So he'd have been the one before Hidden Law. So hopefully there might be another one to come somewhere along the line. Fingers crossed. Out of the Greats, Broodmare. Very well related horse as well, she is. Some very nice horses that are going to come up now. Sagamix, born in 1995, sired by Lena Mix. Another one out of Saganika. Sagamix won 4 of his 9 starts in the first 3 in 5 of them, winning $904,956. Sagamix won the Arc and the Prix Niel. Very good horse. Entered stud at Saint-Logis in France. Shuttled to Overbury Stud in Gloucestershire as a national hunt stallion after that. Died aged 28 in 2023. Very good career. 3rd in the Grand Prix de Saint-Cloud as well. Winner of the Arc and the Prix Niel, as I said. Went to stud. Ended up sire of national hunt horses, really. A bit like Mogul was starting his career. People look at this horse here. Non-Rien de Rien, they'll see. The Sagamix is, in fact, the dam of Nickel. I never knew that. Nickel, a magnificent producer of horses all the way back, really, to Newness. And Neo Marie, I've followed no end of horses out of Newness. Newness is the dam of Nickname. And other great horses like that. And you'll see there that Sagamix foaled 343 foals and only 5 stakes winners on the flat. But a lot of those would have been going on the stats as winners. But national hunt horses. 5 stakes winners on the flat. Sagamix sired, as well as siring Nickel. Nickel obviously sired that one as well. And Nickel is also the dam of Paradiso. So obviously Sagamix is in the same pedigree there as a broodmare stallion. Second broodmare stallion of Paradiso as well. Paradiso was a nice horse. Watched him go round. He won the Prix Wild Monarch, and then he won the Prix Aguado as well. Oh yeah, he won the Prix Stanley as well, the Wild Monarch and the Stanley. And then he won the Prix Aguado, all the important early races. And then off he went, straight to stud. After losing in the Prix Robert Lejeune when he was 3rd. Yeah, interesting horse. Not on this direct dam line, but yeah. So that's how many group winners Sagamix sired. Sagacity is another one. A horse foaled in 1998. I think this one went straight to National Hunt Sphere. I could not. Obviously, I looked for Saganika, and if there was any mares or stallions out of this line, they would have come up of Sagacity. Couldn't find any. He only won 2 of his 11 starts, and he was in the first 3 in 7 of 11 starts, winning €318,099. Horse sired by highest honour out of Saganika. People see their Sagacity. Won the Criterium de Saint-Cloud of the year 2000. He was a champion 3-year-old in France in 2011, despite not winning a race. Is that right? 2nd in the Prix Ocart, 3rd in the Arc, 3rd in the Prix Guillaume d'Ornano, 9th in the Prix de Jockey Club. Takes some doing, doesn't it? Only in that distance between 11 and 14 furlongs. He did a Group 1 winning 2-year-old. Sagacity. Sagajali. Again, you'll see her in plenty of pedigrees at the moment going round in the current day. They branch off, Shaster, and this one, Sagajali, you'll see a few. Sagajali was quite decent. She was never out the first 3 in 5 of her starts. Excuse me, managing to win €89,945. She won 3 of them, 3 of her 5 starts. She won the Prix de Maire, Group 2 race, and she also won a couple of other races. And she was placed in 2 Group 3 races. Sadly died in 2015. Black type producer, Sagerberg. She is the dam of Sagerberg, as well as many others. Sagerberg folded in 2004. So it's why good dam lines produce good horses over a period of time. You know, people can't write off Mogul as a stallion. 11 starts the horse had, Sagerberg. Winner of 4 of his starts. And in the first 3, in 7 of his 11, managing to win €361,570. Horse side by Johannesburg out of Sagajali. Sagerberg, another Group 1 winner of the Prix d'Espagne at 4 2008. Group 3 listed winner as well. And third in the Gannet and the Moulin as well. Entered stud in 2014. Went to Ireland and back to France and stayed in France 2021. Well, I think he can still be found at Arras Daturi. Yes. Available free for price, POA, secret handshake price. He's probably getting on a bit now. 20 years of age, the Stallion. Had a good career. Very good Stallion, really. Side a lot of horses, look. 890 foals. Side 6 stakes winners and 4 graded winners individually. And 10 stakes winners and 6 graded winners collectively. And you'll see there that a lot of them have been National Hunt horses again, though, towards the end of his career. But in moderate flat crops, the horse did okay. And then National Hunt breeding takes over and they breed a lot of National Hunt horses, obviously 5, 6 and above. They don't even include them on this predominantly flat site. You'll see there that a lot of them, you'll see 346 of his winners. You can tell that's a giveaway that they're over National Hunt. 346 winners and all over the distance of 2 miles. But again, look, between a mile and a mile 2, they're in distance. They're in business with it. Again, you'll see the horse was a solid enough rather than spectacular producer of decent flat horses. And I can't believe that's what Mogul wouldn't do if given the opportunity. You'll see there, mainly in France, Ireland and the USA somehow. That must have been exported to great success, that one horse. But yeah, 19 million in total overall. Best progeny of the horse, Seasage. You'll see there, I probably butchered that. It don't sound right, does it? It's Group 2 winner. So the horse never side a Group 1 winner. This one, Charles Whittingham Stakes, Group 2. Spainberg won a Group 2 as well, on the Rockfell. Peaceberg won a Group 2 as well. Chantilly, Zafiro. We're down to the Group 3s now already, look. But yeah, it's like some nice horses, and then you get down to jumps horses. He side like the Chitibello is one, isn't it? That he did sire. Rouge Vif, one I did follow myself. Followed that one go round a few times. Good horse on its day. Rouge Vif is another one, isn't it? Chitibello there, look. You'll see. But they don't class them as stakes races. They don't put them in bold or anything on this site. But they are graded races and over jumps. There's one of the Scottish Champion Hurdle, look. Second in the Champion Hurdle trial. That's at least a grade 2 race. So's the Kingwell Hurdle. But for some reason, just don't bold them only on the flat. But yeah, Sagerberg, decent enough Stallion. I suppose from a National Hunt point of view, his stock is really just blooming. His first crop was 2010 there. 2016 crop when LB8. People might argue that was the perfect time for a National Hunt horse. So the best can still yet to become out of that Stallion, I suppose, is what I'm saying. Perfect Power. This is also totally skipped me by. I didn't know this was on this line. More of that later. A colt foaled in 2019, side by Ardo, out of a dam called Sagely. People see there that Saganika is the 4th dam of this horse. Sagadouli is another one. People will see plenty of her horses go round if they look. And Saga Celebra and Sagely. That's gets you back to the Group 1 winner modern day. Perfect Power. Good horse. Group 1 winner at 2 and 3. Sprinter won the Pre-Morning at 2. Forgot he did that. Of course he did. Deauville. Also won the Group 1 Middle Park at 2. And the Norfolk at Royal Ascot. And he also won the Group 1 Commonwealth Cup and the Greenham at 3. Guineas Trial. And they still... I think it ran in the Guineas and they decided it didn't stay after that, didn't they? I think they gave up too early. That to me is a negative on Ardam more than anything. As a sire of sprinters. Because... there's seen plenty of evidence that this damn line does stay, and that there's going to be more evidence come in a bit. So yeah, Perfect Power. He's at stud as well now, available for £7,500, and he commenced stud duty in 2023. So a couple of years yet until people will see Perfect Power at stud. Will he do okay? Hard to say, really, isn't it? I think he might surprise a few with how far they stay. You know, they might stay for. I think people might think they're getting sprinters and end up with something completely different, possibly. Interesting Stallion. Protagonist as a gelding. Born in 2017, ran 27 times in his career, winning 6 starts. In the first 3 in 9 in 27. So even a mathematical genius like me can work out that's a third of his starts. Earning £50,000, 36,000 euros, and then 235,875 Australian dollars. This was sired by Wootton Bassett out of a dam called Sagaria. You'll see there, she's another one out of Sagadouli. And Saganika is the third dam of this horse. Saganist won the Group 3 Sky High Stakes at Rose Hill last year in 2023, and was also second in the listed Rowley Mile race at Hawkesbury as well. Interesting enough horse, but a gelding. Sagamira. Sagamira was a filly, foaled around the same time. 2017. You'll see there she was quite prolific. In the first 2 in 8 of her 11 starts, managing to win €221,540 in her career, sired by See the Moon. Underestimated stallion, that one. Out of that's a hard one, isn't it? Saghania. Another one out of Sagadouli. So that's 3 different dams we've looked at out of Sagadouli, all produce pattern quality horses. But yeah, there's people that think Mogul won't make a stallion. Interesting. Sagamira won the Prix de Pen Group 3 at 4, and she also won the listed Prix Maurice Zilbert. And she was placed in the Group 1 Prix Rothschild as well as that. Very, very good horse. People can't say that she didn't do well. Foaled in 2017. The next one, Sagalina, is responsible for this one. Sagawara, a mare foaled in 2009. Not as prolific, only in the first 2.5 of her 8 starts, winning twice, winning €197,280 in France. Another one sired by, the first one, sired by Shamadal, out of Sagalina, who herself was out of Saganika. Saganika, the second dam of this one. Sagawara, Group 1 winner of the Group 1 Prix Saint-Hilary of 2012. Also placed in the Group 3 Prix Vanto, some proper old-fashioned fillies form there. Great to see. And Sagawara, very good filly as well in her own right. Group 1 winner. Saganika herself now. We're only at the second dam of Mogul, believe it or not. After looking at all those horses, we are only at the second dam of Mogul. Saganika foaled in 1988, sired by Sagas, out of a dam called Haglet, who was foaled in 1978. Saganika only managed to win 1 race, but somehow managed to win $251,000. $251,183. Used to say that the best horse always wins 8, winning once out of 25 starts. In the first 3 in 7 of 25 starts. Saganika actually did win the Group 2 Prix de Royaume at Longchamp. The high-weighted older mare on the European Free Handicap, and the older mare in Italy in 1992, despite only winning once. Sold in foal for $2 million to Stormcat, to Coolmore. In what year would that have been? In 2003. That getting chased and all those horses. Done well with it. That's why people go for these horses go for so much money. Haglet, the third dam of the horse, foaled in 1978. Managed to win 3 out of her 12 starts. In the first 3 in half of them, 6 of 12, winning $22,240 Australian dollars. Haglet was sired by Hagley, out of a dam called Sucret, who herself was foaled in 1958. Half sister to Roundup, and the dam of 3 winners. We've looked at all them: Saganika, and the Grand Dam of Sagavix, Sagacity, and Sagez Jolie. Not entirely sure how good Roundup was at this stage. Maybe really should have looked. We'll look now. That's the disadvantage of me preparing these videos so early in the day. Sometimes I do miss what is obvious on more than one occasion, it's fair to say. It's the 10D, isn't it? I mean, is it me, or is there no horse called Roundup on that list? We're looking at one called Sucret. I mean, what are they trying to tell me here? There's more than one horse name round up in our database, but it's not the one that. I don't ask to get myself into some scrapes live on video, don't I? There's no need for me to do this. There needs to be a horse attendee, or there isn't either, is that? That's baffling. I don't know who wrote that. I mean, that's just not right, that first bit. But I can see. What happens when you let people, the general public, edit sites? That was the tab I opened, wasn't it? Sucrette. Folding 19. It was entertaining, wasn't it? Very entertaining and educational, that part of the video. The fourth dam of the horse. We're back to 1958 now. Sucrette, sired by Zucchero out of a dam called Lamirambul, who herself was foaled in 1949 and is the fifth dam of Mogul. Sucrette never won in 3 starts and never troubled the judge. Bred by Bull Run Stud in Kentucky. That's all the sites are telling us, without some proper detective work. So we're back to 11D now. So we're going to try and see where we fit on in the historical websites now. You'll see on Family 11D. Oh, there might have been one on there. So I was looking at the wrong damn line, wasn't I? I was looking for a 10 something. So I don't think it was, though, because the dams are wrong. Sucrette, you'll see 11D. Let's see if we can get Roundup open again now. We will get there in the end. Roundup. Hopefully, if I go back one now, let's get the spelling right. There's not even any 11D on that horse. Just wrong. That's how people can get misled, you see, when they're looking at pedigrees of horses with one line of text like that. A lesson for you all there. And keep your horses reputable. And we'll get to 11D, and we're quite down the bottom of this line. It's fair to say I did find it. In the end, there we are down there. Look, Sucrette, Haglet, Saganika, and Sagamix, Arc winner. Quite closely related to horses in the 59 and the 60s. Look, Tambourine, the Irish Derby winner of 1962. And Nasram, the King George winners of the older horses race, isn't it? So it could have been 3-year-old and above. Nasram. When it won the King George, one side by Prince Quillo, and the other one side by Nasrullah. They are both quite closely sisters to the fifth dam of this horse, Sucrette, as well. So it could be argued that they're quite closely related to Mogul as well. We've also got other horses. We go back to 1949, you see. You've got Lope de Vega. We're going to take a look at him in a minute. That's if you people go back to 1949. But this site here, I have to give a shout out here really to this genius of a man from Japan. Hotpedigree.com is really just it's an advert for a book. He wants people to buy his book. And I will buy it one day. I hope I'll have the money to buy it. You know, but I'm more electronic than paperback. I've got 3. I'm looking at them now in the corner. I've got 3 time form 4 manuals in paper. I've never even really looked at them. My first initial part of what to do with them was to put them into a database on a computer. And that is what I tried to do with them. That was what I remember them days on the Microsoft Access with the probably first laptop I had. That was going back a few years then when Denman and Kato Star were going round. I think it was the year Imperial Commander won the Gold Cup, one of the books is from. But again, I digress. This book here, the contents of the 3rd edition, total 630 pages, with a 4th edition due to come soon, around March 2025. So before this book gets out of stock, this man is going to give you the female dam line of every horse, every Group 1 winner in the world between 2020 and 2022, I think. 630 pages. And then book 4 is going to be all the horses from 2022 onwards, because he's listed them all here. Look. And one of these images is Perfect Power. And that's when I realised that Perfect Power is actually on this line. This site is an absolute genius. But one of the best sites. I use it on the internet so many times, you know, because my historical database was written by a genius who sadly died in around the 2000 time. So a lot of the modern day stuff isn't really on there. Like she can sort of tell she put 2010, Lope de Vega. Someone jumped on then and put that on in 2010. But on this site here, if it goes back to between 2000, it goes right to the modern day. So it's a lot easier to just fill in the modern day bit, which is important, but I prefer to go back a bit further to prove cases. But this is an absolutely brilliant site, hotpedigree.com. I'm assuming, I don't know whether the book is in English and Japanese. I'm going to email him and ask him. Are there samples of the book? You see, we can have a look here. Now, it is in English. So the book is in English. And hotpedigree.com will give you details of how to try and find this book and to order this book privately from the man Shigeru Hotta DVM, who is a vet in Japan and a genius, in my humble opinion. So, yeah, that's how I found Perfect Power. And also through the image of Perfect Power, I managed to find a few more. But I had no idea they were on this line at the time when I identified Mogul. One of them is Lizard's Desire, a gelding foaled in 2005 that won the Group 1 Singapore Airlines International Cup. What the genius of this man. A horse sired by Lizard Island out of a dam called Ansfield. And Liram and Ball is the interesting one from all back from these. The fifth dam of Mogul is also the fifth dam of this horse. So these horses are the same distance apart. And this one was foaled 20 years ago. Singapore International Gold Cup winner. Interesting horse, although it is a gelding from a breeding perspective. Another gelding foaled in 2015, Dancer Terrier. Won 7 of 24 starts in the first 3 in 10 of 24, winning earnings of $338,741. Dancer Terrier sired by Redoubt's Choice out of a dam called Belle de la Rose. And you'll see there, this one is actually quite related to Lope de Vega. We're a long way back. They've really gone through the dams here on this one. Look, 1, 2, 3. This fifth dam is Golondrina. We're only at 1970. And we need to be back at 1949, 6, 7, 8. So the eighth dam of Dancer Terrier is the fifth dam of Mogul, even though they're both sort of foaled around the same time. Dancer Terrier, decent enough form in its career. Won a German Group 1 winner, won the Grosser Dolmeyer Prize of 2019. Also a French Group 3 winner and a French listed winner. Group 3, Brigadier Gerard Stakes placed in the UK at Sandown. A globe-trotting horse, fair to say. Solid, wherever the horse went. And Lope de Vega is the one actually out of Lady Vittori. Lope de Vega, fantastic horse, winner of 4 of 9 starts. Earnings of 1.1 million euros, 1.1 million over actually. And you'll see there, won the French 2000 Guineas of 2010, and it also won the Derby that year as well, of 2010. Entered stud in Ireland and shuttled for a few years to Australia. Arguably one of the best stallions there is these days, isn't it? 24 stud fee, 125,000 euros. Again, I can't see why people are so nervous about Mogul. What they want to try and sneak through to Coolmore is a mare that they've raced themselves. It's got form on the jumps and on the flat, and that gives them a couple of chances, doesn't it? Even though they don't really want to take any flat mares by the looks of things, you see. But yeah, Lope de Vega, absolutely magnificent stallion. Looks like with 139 individual stakes winners and 75 individual graded winners. The champion sire in Singapore in 2021. Absolutely incredible piece of information there. And you'll see that this is a proper global stallion. Look at that. Side stakes winners wherever. It takes 11 there on New Zealand to hit the ground. Look, 14 at the ground in Sweden, 11 in Canada. And then the only place that's really failed is Saudi Arabia, look, and Hong Kong, which I'll say is a detriment to their racing as opposed to the stallion. And in Japan, doesn't seem to be going too well there, only 8 horses. But yeah, brilliant stallion, Lope de Vega. Another one I found was Strategos. Well, I didn't find it. Another one the Japanese genius found was Strategos in 2015. winner of 12 of his 17 starts. And in the first two, in 13 of 17, earning 7,308,600 of Argentinian. I thought they use pesos out there, don't they? It says AR, that dollars, 7 million Argentinian dollars. This one's sired by Sensational, out of a dam called Candy Woman. People see that the sixth name were again going a little bit further back, but people have to remember this is the fifth dam of Mogul. That's why we're having to go so far back, because Mogul is quite unusual in the way that it is bred. You'll see there that La Marine Ball is the seventh dam of this horse, and only the fifth dam of Mogul. This one's some races, this horse. It's fair to say 4 Group 1s in Argentina, 3 Group 2s and 2 listed races. Absolutely fantastic horse at stud in 2021 at Harras El Palaiso in Argentina. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into these. I do watch Argentinian racing. Price on arrival again. Secret handshake price. I don't think that should be allowed. And you'll see that a very interesting pedigree commenced on duties in Argentina in 2021. So hopefully there'll be some about this year in the 2-year-old season that hasn't really started yet in Argentina. Could be one of my go-to stallions in the 2-year-old campaign this year, just to see what we've got. Yeah, interesting horse, Strategos. Looking forward to it. And thank you to the Japanese genius for putting me onto horses like this. Scaletti, again, I have no idea. This was quite closely related to Mogul. 20 wins the horse had in Scaletti in 32 starts. In the first 3 in 26 and 32 starts. Managed to win 1,139,130. Another globe-trotting gelding on the line, really. Sired by Ken Dargent, out of a dam called Scarlet. There's another one that's going round that was a little bit worse than this one that was going round in staying races. You'll see again, the fifth dam of this one, we're only at 1968. And we need to be all the way back in 1949. And again, the eighth dam again of Scaletti is the fifth dam of Mogul. So the longevity is there, Mogul, I think, for all to see. Scaletti at Group 4, he really started to be unbeatable. Won the Group 2 Prix-Dollar and the Group 2 Premier Roma and the Group 3 Prix Quincy at 5. Group 2 Prix-Dollar, Group 3 Prix Gonto Biron. The trouble is in France, well, the good thing in France is that geldings can't run in a lot of their Group 1 races. So he had to come to the UK to finish second in the Group 1 Champion Stakes. At 6, he won the Ispahan of 2021. At 6, he also won a Group 1 in Germany as well, as winning the Group 2 Prix d'Harcourt. Went back for another Prix de Roma as well, Route not to. At 7, he also won the Group 3 Exubri. At 7, an incredible roll of honour, really, isn't it? Signs of the decline. No Group 1 winners this year. Group 2 Prix d'Harcourt winner, listed winner of the Prix Tantien. And at 8, he was only going to Italy to manage to win his back race, he said. And at 9, he was relegated to French listed races. Fascinating career. But it just goes to show if anyone wants to know when the peak of a racehorse is, they should look at this horse. It reminds me a bit of Campanologist. 5, 6 and 7. They retire the good horses on the flat before they reach their peak. That's why flat racing is so strange. And they saw there it was the 8th dam of it. Vital Class. A horse foaled in 2001, another one in Argentina. Sired by In Class, out of a dam called Awesome Live. You'll see there that we're going way back again. In this horse, La Mirande foaled in 1972. 8th dam again of this horse, Vital Class, won 11 of 19 out in Argentina. They don't like losing out there, do they? Why don't they just sell Mogul to an Argentinian and Japan? 11 of 19 starts. Winner, I suppose they've got the other one, you see. That's why they've got their own out there. Japanese are too shrewd for that. If they won't import expensive stallions, they'll get the dam lines and breed their own stallions rather than import them. Brilliant. 19 starts, 11 wins, 2 places, 2 shows. This Vital Class. Couldn't find much evidence of this at Sturridge, and my Spanish is not that great when it's non-existent. Champion sprinter. Won 11 races, I would say that is. At Palermo, San Isidro and La Plata, including the Gran Premio Carrera race, de las Estrellas. Won a few races, it's fair to say. It was second in all of them as well. Gran Premio Estrellas, Junior Sprint. Posthumous winner of the Carlos Pellegrini. Looks like someone jumped on and added that. Posthumous winner of the Carlos Pellegrini Award. Perfect rotten Spanish, that, isn't it? Carlos Pellegrini Award as champion sprinter in Argentina in 2005, 2006. Vital class. Very interesting horse, though. But yeah, we've got one upcoming in Argentina already. Altarite is one, foaled in 2010. Sired by Literato out of a dam called Ana Luna. People will see that we're back down to the fifth dam again, Lucaya. We're going to end up back at La Marimbule at some point. There she is. We're down to the ninth dam now. Because of the fifth dam of Mogul, you see, they appear. And they appear on perfect power as well. Yeah, Altarite won 4 of her 15 starts. And in the first 3, in 9 of 15 starts, winning $802,297. Altarite started off in France, 3rd in the Marcel Boussac of 2013. Winner of the Group 1 Garden City Stakes in America, as well as the listed Guinness Trial for France, the Prix Le Camargo. 2nd in the Group 1 Prix Saint Ollery as well, of 2013. And then it was off to America, QE2 Challenge Cup, and the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mares Turf as well, Group 1 races. First 9 races in France. Jean-Claude Rouget and Chad Brown. And she's breeding horses in Japan currently. Very interesting line this is. Some nice horses on it, isn't there? Ask for the Moon is another one found by the Japanese genius Shigeru Hotta. I do feel obliged to plug his book again. Buy this book. Brilliant book. I do think people should buy it. Rather than the Racing Post. Don't buy the Racing Post. Email this man. Find out how much he wants for his book. And then don't buy the Racing Post for that long. And then buy his book and you will learn more. Ask for the Moon is the next one in question. Foaled in 2001. Trained by Dr. Fong out of a dam called Lune Rouge. Ask for the Moon, very interesting horse, sire of 5 of his 11 starts. In the first 3, in 8 of 11, managing to win $234,626 Australian dollars. Sired by Dr. Fong, as I said, we're going to get back to it. We're not as far back this time. Look, so the 5th dam of this horse is foaled in 1961. So we might even get to the 6th dam this time. No, the 7th dam of this horse here. Ask for the Moon is the 5th dam of Mogul. So it really is a litany of pattern race top class Group 1 winners for the last however many years. Another one that won the Prix Saint Ollery of 2004. No longer a Group 1 race. That will save Japanese genius some work, won't it, looking at this line. That's 2 he won't have to do next year. That race, of course, relegated. He wouldn't have had to do it this year either. Group 3, Pre-Penelope. It's weird how people's mind works. Whenever I see a Group 1 race, I always think I wonder what he'll find on this one now that I've not found. Absolute genius, the man is. As for the Moon, very good horse as well. And she was also the dam of Astrology. I remember that one going round. This one sort of defied him because it never won a Group 1 race. It actually was as a 3rd in the 2015 Derby, Group 1. And it was also 3rd in a couple of Group 2s as well, the Futurity Stakes. Also, he had a Group 3 winner, won the D Stakes. That's a listed race now. The Group 3 D Stakes of 2012. Astrology won 2 of his 7 starts. 3rd in Saudi Arabia, which I never knew. Asked for the Moon, the dam of this one. Well, fair play to her. She's played a little part in what is a massive puzzle by managing to nearly sire a classic winner. A classic placed horse at best. Very good. So, yeah, brilliant pedigree, I think Mogul's got. I mean, I can't see... If this horse was siring flat horses, I'd say you're in business at 1.5 miles, ain't you? You might be in business even at 7 furlongs and a mile at 2. You've seen them both, Mogul and Japan, win at that trip at 2. You've seen others that have won the Busacks or been placed in Busacks. But yeah, 1.5 miles plus, you would think, on the flat. What we haven't seen is many national hunt horses. So good luck to Coolmore Siren. The way I would work this stallion is if I was a breeder with a flatbred mare that I'd raced over jumps, I'd send it to this horse. Because then I could race it on the flat as well. That's what I'd be looking to do. And I like this stallion, I do. I make no bones about that. And it's, yeah, definitely one I'd identify in the current day because the line is just world class. I follow it still to this day. Hidden Law I was looking at, but sadly passed away at the Cheshire Vase. I can't remember Chester Vase. I can't remember what I had running against it this year. But yeah, Hidden Law would have definitely been one on Classic Watch if I'd have found it. Not sure I would have had the video good to go. Not sure. I'm thinking of what others I've got. But yeah, very good horse. Very good stallion, Mogul. I'm hoping will turn to be. What we can do now is we can watch the stallion win 3 races. I know the video's been a bit long, but that's life. I do try and keep them as quick as possible. There were several more horses I could have shown you, but I chose not to. Let's put it that way. Basically, the longer the video, the better the horse. We're going to watch the 3 races now. The first one at 2 is the KPMG Champion Juvenile, and we'll watch that race of 2019. We'll watch Mogul land that.
And the 2-year-old colts are installed, and they're off in the KPMG Champions Juvenile Stakes, Group 2 over a mile. Won last year by Champion Stakes contender Matt Moon. And in the early stages, it's Sinawan on the inside with Cormoran racing through in the blue cap. And in between horses on settling down is Howling Wolf, and they're tracked by Mogul. Heading down the far side of the track, and Cormorant and Shamie Heffernan have gone on to lead. Sinawan and Ronan Whelan on the inside of Howling Wolf and Rory Cleary. They're tracked by Mogul and Ryan Moore, and Rebel Tail in between horses, apprentice Ben Cohen on board. Towards the rear are Jatari and Kevin Manning, with last of all Royal County Down and Wayne Lorden. As they come off the back straight, 4.5 furlongs to go in the KPMG Champions Juvenile Stakes. In front is Cormorant by a length, and second place is Howling Wolf. Third on the outside is Mogul, tracked by Sinawan. Green Jacket on the inside of Rebel Tail, and then Royal County Down and Adjatari. Racing for the 3 in the approach to the straight, and they're well past the halfway stage. Cormorant nudged along in front. Gone second, and a close second on the outside is Howling Wolf. A little over a length back to Mogul and Sinawan. Rebel Tails come under pressure, then Adjatare and Royal County Down. They're racing down towards the final furlong and a half in the KPMG Champions Juvenile Stakes. Here comes Mogul, the favourite. Sweeps to the front, gone past Stable Companion. Cormorant and Sinawan. Howling Wolf is weak, and then Adjatare, Rebel Tail and Royal County Down. But it's Mogul and Ryan more in the lead. Sinawan is staying on well on the outside, but Mogul will continue improving ways. Is your KPMG Champion Juvenile. Sinawan second, and then Adjatari, Rebel Tail, Cormorant, Royal County Down and Howling Wolf.
Your favourite goes in, trainer in form, star rated again, Mogul. Good.
Trainer in form, Aidan O'Brien, eh? So many horses, how's that ever possible? But yeah, very good performance there by Mogul on the day, it's fair to say. My old mate Sinawan there in that race. I remember identifying him as well. Very nicely bred horse, Sinawan, it's fair to say. I think he ended up in Australia, didn't he? I think he won a group race out there. He didn't do much else, it's fair to say. The next race we're going to take a look at, we're going to skip the lockdown races. He did win the Gordon in lockdown, but Derby and Royal Ascot the wrong way round. We're going to skip a few months now to September of 2020 and take a look at the Grand Prix de Paris of that year. I think this year, in this race, I think time will tell that he beat a good field here.
And set. And away they go, 2,400 metres, 1.5 miles is the trip. The pink jacket of Nobel Prize is the first one to go through and lead. On the left is English King, a black jacket and yellow cap. The dark blue of Serpentine, the chestnuts right in the middle of the picture. Off to the right there in white and maroon colours is Hazem. Right behind him in white and red is Port Guillaume, the nose-banded Gold Trip is next. Dark jacket, dark green, a pink cap. He's around the outside of In Swoop. Big white face and blue sleeves for him. Then the last trio, extreme right, is Highland Chief in pink and green colours. With him is Lord Achilles, a red sleeve jacket. And Mogul in blue and orange is now about 2 lengths ahead of those and just about in 8th place as they run towards the end of the back straight. It continues to be Nobel Prize who leads. So they're Port Guillaume moving right up there on the outside, white and red jacket, to go past Hazem and take 2nd place. 2 lengths behind these to Serpentine. There'd be another length and a half or so to English King against the running well, with the nose-banded Gold Trip alongside him. Then In Swoop with Mogul creeping up on the inside of him, about a length away to Highland Chief. And Lord Achilles, the red sleeves, continues to be at the back marker as they run on towards the halfway stage and the run back towards the straight. It's now about a 2-length lead for Nobel Prize, leading to Hazem against the running rail and Port Guillaume on the outside of him. Length and a half, maybe even 2 in fact, as Serpentine is back in 4th place, and then English King against the running rails in company with Gold Trip as they head down the full straight. Behind those is In Swoop, just giving the hurry up a little bit on the outside of Mogul, and then comes Highland Chief and Lord Achilles, who continue to be the back markers. Meanwhile, Nobel Prize has tried now to slip them. Done so rather successfully. He's going to move into the straight by about 7 lengths. 2nd position is Port Guillaume. Then comes Serpentine coming under pressure, with Mogul against the running well in the blue and orange, closing very strongly now. Also Gold Trip behind those. Port Guillaume has weakened, and it is Mogul in the blue and orange who's taken it up. Gold Trip with a noseband in 2nd position. Serpentine behind those. In Swoop staying on well in the closing stages, but as they race towards the line, Mogul safely clear. Won by at least 2, maybe 3. 2nd place is going to be close, with a noseband of Gold Trip being closed on all the time by In Swoop, who got really going in the closing stages.
Good performance there, ridden by a disgraced jockey, PC Pierre-Charles Boda. Yeah, you couldn't say again. People couldn't really fault the performance of Mogul on that day, could they? I mean, the horse, like the commentator said, travelled very strongly in between the 3 furlong pole and the furlong to close up, and then went away and did the job. Very, very good performance on that day, I thought. And again, we're going to see what I think again here is another good performance at Hong Kong in the Hong Kong Vars of December 2020. And then we will end the video.
Ready to go. It's a small field. The Turf World Championships are underway. At the top of the Sha Tin Straight, and Shafano from out wide and Exultant. They were the first 2 to leave the gates, and they're going to amble forward 2 in front of Ho Ho Khan. Columbus County's going to position up on the rail from Royal Julius in the white jacket. 2 lengths to Mogul, and player Del Puente. He settles down 5 lengths off the second last horse. It's the reigning Hong Kong Horse of the Year. It's Exultant and Zach Purton coming down to the winning post with a round to go. In the first of 4 Group 1s, and he leads Shafano by a length and a half. Royal Julius for France is running a length away 3rd, and Ho Ho Khan 4th the rail. Next Mogul for Ireland on the outside of Columbus County, and 3 lengths away last of all is the Derby runner-up player Del Puente. Out towards the 1600 metre mark, and it's Exultant leading the way. Royal Julius is a length and a half away 2nd, Shafano 3rd the fence. 2 lengths to Ho Ho Khan inside of Mogul. 2 lengths to Columbus County and 2.5 lengths to player Del Puente. It's Exultant first to greet the Shingmun Riverside, turning to the back. He leads by 3/4, but he has their head up and he has the mouth open too. Royal Julius is a length away 2nd, Shafano 3rd, order remains the same. Mogul's a length away 4th. 5th on the inside is Ho Ho Khan from Columbus County. He's back to 2nd last, and 3 lengths away last is player Del Puente. Near the 1,000 metre mark, so over halfway in the Longines Hong Kong Vars, and it's Exultant looking for an all-of-the-way win. He leads by a length on Royal Julius. Shafano's running 3rd. Mogul's just starting to creep a little bit closer. He's 4th now and only 3 lengths off the lead. Ho Ho Khan's against the rail from Columbus County, and a length and a half to player Del Puente. 6 lengths over them. Exultant lead, 600 to go. Royal Julius ridden up a bit, a neck away. Then Shafano chased along. Mogul yet to be presented to try and run down the favourite. Then Ho Ho Khan and Columbus County. Sprints on now, 400 metres to go. Exultant leads, Mogul's after him. It's the pair at the top of the book. They're out by 2. Favourite and second favourite. Mogul's in front for Ireland. Exultant's a length away from Columbus County. It's the 3-year-old Mogul for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien. 100 metres to go. He's 2 in front of Exultant and Columbus County. Mogul for Ireland wins the Vase. Mogul by 3.5 beat Exultant and Columbus County. Then Ho Ho Khan. Next in Playa del Puente, Shafano, and last in is Royal Julius. Bally.
Again, you see, the Mogul looks on his day very, very straightforward horse, isn't he? You have to say that. He looks a very straightforward horse on certain days when he runs, doesn't he? I mean, you saw that there again. Didn't look to have any trouble at all going through his races. And I thought he won that race very well indeed. You know, it's just a shame that he couldn't really show it when it mattered more. You know, he couldn't quite show it on more occasions to a UK audience. His performances really all came in. The best performances did come in France, and they did come in Hong Kong. But they came so much better than anything else he ever showed. You know, it's definitely a horse of very high potential. I think it's fair to say, Siren, for €3,000 as a national hunt stallion. Safe to say, not what I would do with it, but hopefully it goes well. I believe hopefully it can do something. Time will tell. But for now, I will end this video here. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to have watched quite a long video, it's fair to say. Thank you very much for taking the time. It is very much appreciated. What I will do is I'll leave you a copy if you thought this hour-long video is just what I wanted. Then I will leave you an opportunity to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already chosen to subscribe, I will give you an opportunity to do so. I will also give you an opportunity to view the Stallions in Focus playlist as well at the end of this video, which I will do. Right, I'll end this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to watch it. Who knows, really? There's people in Ireland who are very, very confident that Mogul will not be a very good stallion over the jumps. I tend to agree with them. I don't think he should ever be given the opportunity to sire any jumps horses until he's proven that his stock are a little bit too slow for the flat. Who knows whether they could be? You know, who knows? I think he's a good horse. I think the pedigree is sound. That's all for a later day. But for now, we'll leave this video here. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic day and goodbye.